Good morning, good morning, good morning. You know who it is, the Cat in the Hatchet resident fly guy, your chief architect, Michelangelo, StarArchitects.com. I'm here to help you redesign your frame of mind when it comes to this lifestyle thing. Yo, it's Fly Guy Friday. It's just Friday, but you can make it a Fly Guy Friday. You know who it is, and you know what it is. So I want to have a conversation with you today about how to be fly, how to really build a fly image and what that actually means, how to tie your image to a fashion or a style aesthetic. And so I want you to think about that. Before we begin, as always, this is a conversation, not a verbal dissertation or a lecture. So as you guys hop in, let me know where you are hitting from. Even if you're watching a replay, I still want you to chime in, leave thoughts, leave questions, leave perspectives that you may have, because this is not just about me. This is about the community around us being able to have a conversation and really being able to cultivate a conversation. And that's ultimately what I want for you guys. So outside of that, what I want you guys to think about today is what it really means for you to be fly, right? A lot of guys hear that like, oh man, that dude is so fly, that young lady is so fly, but do we really have an understanding of what flyness actually represents and what it means and how to cultivate it? And the reason why I'm asking that question is because a lot of people want to be fly, but when they show up, especially on a Friday or Saturday, maybe even Sunday, when it comes to, you know, the weekend, they show up fly, fashionably fly. But as we know, fashion is fleeting. It's a very dismissive type of energy or encounter that you're creating. And then they wonder why they don't really ever sustain that relationship. Well, if you've been rocking with me, then you know that it's all about the consciousness of your character. It's all about the construction and the curation of that character, and then ultimately the communication of the character that you want to express. So if we're talking about the consciousness of your character, then one of the most important things that we have to remember is that when we are talking about consciousness, we have to be aware. We have to be present to that feeling. We have to be present to that energy and to that awareness of ourselves. And so a lot of guys, when they're trying to be fly, they are just doing that. They're trying. And there is no try. You either are or you are not. And so a lot of guys are not finding success because what they're doing is they are promoting inauthenticity. Not because it's not true to their character, but because they haven't practiced it enough. I was talking earlier this week on IG about a guy who, when he got a flat cap, but every 2 seconds he was trying to adjust his flat cap because he didn't really believe that that was a good look for him. And luckily for him, he learned that very quickly. The flat cap went into the closet. I think he hasn't pulled that out since. But he was just more of a fly, suave, street dude. He's actually one of the archetypes that I help a lot of guys use, just because his methods are simplistic, but his execution is flawless. And so every Friday, he's fly. Like, there's some things that I feel like I would change or I would develop, but he's a fly dude in any case. And so within that conversation, within the context of that conversation, it's important for fellas to understand that dynamic. When you step out and you say, hey, I'm going to intentionally focus on my flyness, then what you can end up doing is you can begin curating a wardrobe and cultivating and collecting a wardrobe around those pieces, around that intent, actually, not those pieces, that intent, and then collecting the pieces that are going to reinforce that. So what does that look like? On a Friday, if your intention is to step out to a club or to an experience, maybe a festival as spring and summer comes up, and you know that your intention is to attract either women or a new social dynamic for you to interact with different types of people, or you're going to a small business conference for the weekend and you just want to be able to network and have that energy around you, well then now it's time for you to start cultivating that throughout the week. So let's say, for instance, you know that red is a power color, it's a passion color, and you know that that Saturday or that Friday you want to wear some red, whether some red chinos, right, some bold red chinos, or a bold red polo in that space, or maybe even a bold red cardigan, or, you know, for some of you extra bold guys, a blazer. Willie Mays, what's going on, family? Thank you for joining. Then what you want to do is throughout the week, you want to start pairing yourself with that energy, with that passionate energy. So it may be wearing a red handkerchief, or pocket square, not handkerchief, pocket square on Monday. On Tuesday, it may be you wearing a red tie. On, Wednesday, it may be pulling on and trying on some of those red chinos for the day, or that red polo for the day, and just be experiencing it, right? So that by the time Saturday rolls around, you're not going to have to fake something due to discomfort. Because people don't realize inauthenticity can come with discomfort. Because what it says is, I'm not used to wearing this. I'm in an uncomfortable space, and you don't realize that presence precedes you. So it's kind of like if you see a young lady, right, who doesn't wear heels, and she steps in the club, and you see her at nights in with her shoes off, and she didn't even have any sense to bring like flip-flops, so she walking around barefoot. Ugh. Like, when we was younger, we might let that pass. I think after I turned like 26, I would see a girl like that, and I'd be like, I'm judging. Yeah, because you don't know how to walk in heels, obviously. All right? So in that same space, when you are showing up in an inauthentic way, Solar Facts, what's going on? Peace, family. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Make sure you give me a thumbs up too if you're enjoying the information. It helps the channel to grow, and we'll get this out here so we can start having this conversation a little bit more. But yeah, so you see that young lady, and you lose respect for her, and in that same way, you'll see somebody, Don Lion. Oh, Dunn Lion. Okay, I'm with that. I like that name. So you see that, and people can see that inauthentic presence as well when you're stepping out. So far better for you to practice certain things. If you're going to try sweater vest, right? Or if you're going to do, if you are going to start wearing blazers, and you've been a guy who's been kind of a t-shirt and denim guy, like, start practicing these different nuances subtly first, right? Throw on a nice cardigan before you get to your blazer. Throw on a nice V-neck sweater. Start building on things that are going to create a certain level of familiarity in those spaces. The same thing that I'll tell people that are working with me, when they get a new piece, they should be able to wear that over the course of 7 days. And the reason why we do that practice is because at some point, I want them to be comfortable in the pieces that they're in. So after we go to the tailor, I want them to wear that 7 days, because people may be like, did you wear that yesterday? Yup, yes I did, but it's been paired a different way this way. So if they go get a dope jacket, they can pair that 3 or 4 different ways. And if they went and got a bespoke or a made-to-measure dress shirt, they can start seeing all the different ways that they can put those things together. And ultimately what that does is it creates a communication narrative that speaks to your level of sophistication, that speaks to your level of awareness. And a lot of people don't realize that starts to create a signature or a uniform thought when it comes to who you are. I'm known as the Cat in the Hat because I consistently am in hats. I'm starting to feel like LL Cool J, because LL Cool J never took off his hat. So in that same space, as I move and transition into summer, some people may be like, oh, okay, yeah, we know you're going to just start showing this head. Oh, shit. This motherfucker pulled out some straw hats. This dude got some straw boulders. Like, God damn. How many hats do you have? Like, hit them with, I got a few, little something. You can be in that space. And so you start to get into your bag. You start to get into that space. And that really creates the level of flyness, because true flyness is all about authenticity. It's about commanding attention instead of paying for it. See, a lot of people want people to pay attention to them instead of commanding the attention by standing on their sartorial square, by being unwavering in who they are and what they want to represent, and letting that image, letting that understanding, letting that reputation precede them. So this upcoming week, I want you to get into the mindset of doing those 3 things. Practice what intent you are really trying to create for the weekend in these social airs and these social spaces that you're going to find yourself in. And start curating different pieces, whether they're statement pieces or expressions of your own, over the course of the week to build up the momentum that will take you into communicating those things and on Friday and on Saturday and over the weekend. Make sure that on that weekend that you're being very intentional about that expression, and let me know what the experience actually creates. Because I have a feeling that you will then put yourself on a path to true understanding of elevation and coasting in your clothing. All right, so I want you to try that on, see how it fits you. As always, who just joined late, because I was late. I really can't get mad at you. I was late too. But please make sure that you show me some love. Today we're gonna be talking about hats. Why is everybody joining as soon as I'm hopping off? So look, if anybody has any questions before I'm getting off as I'm going through everything, Master Yip, my man, salute. How you doing? Always great to see you. We're gonna be talking about hats today. So make sure you check us out at 6:30. I apologize yesterday. So no excuse. Yesterday, I uploaded, right, and I put all my uploads go on private. What I'm gonna start doing is we're gonna start batching videos, as I told you, and that way you'll just have them scheduled and they will actually show up on time. But yesterday I realized I hadn't taken it off private and it was uploaded, so I was a little mad at myself. But today we'll be up at 6:30. Tomorrow we'll do the question and answer. And Sunday we're going to do the story of. We're gonna start out with Ralph, and we're gonna do that in 4 segments. I'm thinking I'm starting to get this flow. It's gonna be trash, this first one. I just know it is compared to what my vision is. So we'll figure it out. Outside of that, if you guys have anything that you guys want me to talk about, know that I may not talk about it immediately, but it will be on the calendar. I have almost the year planned out, but what I can do is if you guys are asking questions frequently, then what we will do is we'll do a live as well as a produced Q&A on Saturday. So I'll answer those questions, and then if it moves me, if the crowd and the community moves me, then I will create a video series, because what we're going to start doing is looking for more series on the subject matter that you're talking about. And we're also going to reintroduce dating into the fold and into that conversation as well. So outside of that, yo, it's Friday. Be great. Then again, you guys know you are, right? You guys got to start believing that you guys are great. If you don't believe it yet, like, man, I got some awesome homies. I got some awesome friends on here. So you got to make sure that you show up and you show out in style. And above all, that you don't ever forget that dress is nothing more than the expression of a man's state of mind. So you, yes, you fly guys, should always dress to express. And I will see you later on this evening and tomorrow. Peace.